स्वागतम विनय जी. थैंक यू फॉर ज्वाइनिंग भारत मार्ग. वेलकम वेलकम वेलकम. दोस्तों, आज हमारा बातचीत होगा. वी आर गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट इधर का जो सिख छात्र हैं जो प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं कनाडा में, पीईआई प्रिंस एडवर्ड आइलैंड में जो प्रोटेस्ट हो रहा है, इसका कारण क्या है, क्यों ये प्रोटेस्ट है, और इसके साथ साथ ये along with this there is another protest happening in a Canadian university. उसका कारण क्या है? अनफेयर ग्रेडिंग. मतलब बहुत सारे सिख बच्चे फेल हो गए एक सब्जेक्ट में. इसके खिलाफ वो बोलते हैं हम 4 गुना पैसा देते हैं. ये कैसा हुआ, ये सब बात करेंगे. ये क्या गुंडाइज्म या इट्स अ वेरी वेरी नेचुरल एंड राइट डिमांड, इसके बारे में बात करेंगे. क्या पॉलिटिकल प्रेशर दिया जाता है, क्या है, इसके बारे में बात किया जाएगा विनय जी के साथ. ओके, बट बिफोर गोइंग फर्दर फ्रेंड्स, please make sure to like the video, comment on the video, share the video with as many people, क्योंकि आपको पता होना चाहिए कनाडा में क्या हो रहा है. ओके, और यही अपना मुद्दा है. और इसके अलावा अगर आप भारत मार्ग चैनल को अभी तक सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया तो प्लीज सब्सक्राइब एंड प्रेस द नोटिफिकेशन बेल, ताकि जब भी हम लाइव जाते हैं आपको पता लगेगा. आप आके जुड़ सकते हैं, कोई सवाल है तो भी पूछ सकेंगे. ओके, एंड वी टीच संस्कृत फॉर फ्री ऑनलाइन. इफ यू अगर चाहते हैं तो आप एनरोल कर सकते हैं व्हाट्सएप के द्वारा हमें संपर्क करके. वी आल्सो टेक यू फॉर स्पेशल तीर्थ यात्रा अराउंड भारत. ओके, अगर चाहिए तो आप हमें संपर्क कर सकते हैं. नॉर्थ वेस्ट ईस्ट साउथ, जहां भी लग्जरी प्राइवेट तीर्थ यात्रा ट्रिप. एंड वी आल्सो सेंड आउट वन धार्मिक मैसेज हर दिन. हमारा बहुत सारा लैंग्वेजेस में आते हैं, और उसको पाने के लिए आप हमें व्हाट्सएप करें. Okay, and we also are involved in many dharma karyas, and if you want you can support us and donate us, and we need your support. Okay, definitely. Vinay ji, welcome. Welcome to Bharat Marg. ये बोलिएगा विनय जी, ये क्या हो रहा है? ये सिख बच्चों प्रिंस एडवर्ड आइलैंड में बहुत प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं. 2 प्रोटेस्ट के बारे में मैं बात करना चाहता हूं. जैसा मैंने इंट्रो में बोला, एक है कैनेडियन यूनिवर्सिटी में भी हो रहा है कि हमारे लिए अनफेयर ग्रेडिंग हो रहा है, हमारे के खिलाफ रेसिज्म है, टारगेट किया जाता है. इसके बारे में भी जरा बताइए, क्या गुंडाइज्म है या ये वेरी वेरी नेचुरल एंड राइट प्रोटेस्ट है?
So, good morning to all the viewers. Also, thanks to Bharat Mark for giving me the opportunity. So, basically, what is happening in Prince Edward Island is that there was a rule, and Prince Edward Island was actually granting, to basically bring in more students. Okay, the most of the international students were coming into Ontario, and what was happening was, they were kind of applying for their PR cards and all that through the normal process. In Ontario, it takes several years, obviously, to get your PR status. You got to go and apply in a different country, and there's a whole bunch of processes, and there are a lot of touts. Like, I'm talking about agents who do it for the money, and they kind of entice the students. There's a whole process. Like, it starts off right from the land that they belong, right? They come from there, and they basically reach out to these touts, and the touts basically charge them some amount of money, and then they bring them as students to Canada, mainly to Ontario and BC, of course. And then once they finish their graduation or whatever, they do a 1 year, 2 year certificate or diploma. They're not like very, 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 very few. I would say 0.001% of the population that come in as international students, they go into universities. Okay, because the easy way is to get into these private colleges, which was mostly run by immigrants themselves, and there's no standard of education in any of these institutions, and they go there. It's easy to get in, and all it takes is money. and they get in, and then that's it. They finish their graduation and they apply for immigration again through these touts, and they get their immigration status, PR status.
This is a regular process. क्यों मगर क्यों ये protest हो रहा है विनय जी?
So the P.E.I. in what has happened is they saw what was going in Ontario, and they saw the amount of money that's coming in from the international students. I mean, this is I'm talking about $20 to $30 billion industry. Okay.
Mhm.
So it's a huge industry, and that actually boosts the economy as well. So P.E.I. decided that they're going to bring in these international students who actually are they pay 4 to 5 times the cost of domestic students. Okay. So they come in, and P.E.I. decided, you know what, to entice these students to come into P.E.I.
I mean,
rather
to
than
appease the
Ontario or
students.
BC.
इनको
Sorry.
इनको ऐसा like a लालच दिखाने के लिए.
Yeah,
इनको लालच करने दिखाने के लिए
exactly.
उधर
So
चूज
they
कर रहे हैं.
basically put a carrot in front of their face and
Yeah,
said, guys,
comparing Ontario मत जाओ, BC मत जाओ, इधर आ जाओ.
you come into Prince Edward Island, we
It's a
will
beautiful
guarantee you,
place.
the provincial government is saying this, we will guarantee you that we will give you, what is it, PR status within 1 year after you
Wow.
graduate.
That's a very interesting strategy.
Within 12 months, you get your PR status. Okay.
Wow.
So, and this basically what has happened is the students started coming in large numbers. Okay. And then there was the housing crisis because PEI has a limited number of universities, and these guys came in huge, universities and colleges, and then again private colleges were getting set up and all that. So, but they came in such large numbers that because it was easy for them to come into PEI rather than going to Ontario or BC because they were getting their PR status within 1 year, and they are also
और
allowed.
ये कॉलेजेस भी तुरंत दे देते थे क्या? कैसा होता है इनका?
Yeah, they give the admission right away. It's nothing, no major hassle.
फीस पे बहुत बड़ा कैसा फर्क है इधर का, मतलब ओंटारियो का और पीईआई का कितना फर्क है?
No, what in terms of fees?
Yeah.
Fees is almost the same because they're not
Same.
going to reduce the fees or anything.
Okay, मगर आपका लिविंग एक्सपेंसेस कम होगा ना उधर?
Living expenses is depends actually. It could be a little less, but the thing is, see, in Ontario, you have a lot of Indian stores. A lot of these people coming in are mostly from India, and Indian groceries are more expensive.
The protest is from Sikh students, basically.
Yeah, mostly from Punjab.
Yeah.
Okay, and mostly these guys are coming in, and they are very used to their own food. And Indian groceries is not cheap in PEI, so I wouldn't say it's cheaper or anything.
Okay.
It's more or less the same. Okay.
Okay, but they
maybe
get
the cost of housing is a little.
1 year PR मिल जाता है, ये तो बड़ी बात है उनके लिए.
Exactly. So they came in, and then what happened was the housing crisis became a big deal. And
मतलब अगर कॉलेज जाते हैं, यूनिवर्सिटी जाते हैं, जो भी खत्म करो, आपको ये 1 साल में मिल जाता है.
Exactly.
Wow.
Within 1 year. So once you prove your your graduation status, right, then apparently the government, provincial government themselves help with the process, and they get you their PR card within 1 year. So this was what was going on. Okay. So, and the crisis became such a big deal that about 30 to 40 acres of land per day was being converted for housing in PEI. PEI is a big province in the growth of potatoes. Actually, PEI potatoes are extremely famous. Okay, so those lands were getting converted to housing, right? So that was affecting the whole the ecosystem in PEI. And what ended up happening is they saw that this crisis is getting beyond anything, and it's becoming like Venezuela, where this whole the freebies thing, I don't know if you remember, became a big crisis, and eventually the government had to put a stop to it. So that's exactly what happened in PEI. So they put a stop to this, and they changed the law. And now the students who came in with the assumption that they're going to get the PR status, who had already registered, who are finishing up their courses, or who are actually in the middle of their course, and they actually are now have been asked to leave the country because they can't continue to live in the country without a status. So hundreds of students are being deported. So now these students are basically saying, "Oh, you cannot do that. We are entitled." So this is a thing of entitlement, right? And that is the
मतलब
incorrect.
विनय जी मैं आपको ये पूछूंगा, ये कैसा गुंडाइज्म हो सकता है? ये तो उनका राइट है। अगर आप मुझे प्रॉमिस करते हैं कुछ करने के लिए जिसके वजह से मैं आपका उधर आया है, अगर आप पलट लेते हैं मैं नहीं दे सकता है, ये तो आपका मूर्खता है। अगर इकोसिस्टम स्पॉइल हो रहा है तो उधर का पॉलिटिशियंस का इसके बारे में सोचना चाहिए, वो तो नहीं सोचे।
100%, I agree with you
देन
because
हाउ कैन यू ब्लेम द बच्चों का? कैसा आप
the
ये दोषी बोल
no,
सकते
no,
हैं?
no, the government has actually it should have thought about it and thought about the repercussions, but they were more worried about the money coming in, right? So they said, "Oh, a lot of money is coming in, so let's give them, let's open it up and all that." But they didn't realize the burden it's going to create on the economy and on the ecosystem of the province. And so the government then decided, okay, you know what? They just woke up. It's like from a stupor. It's like Kumbhakarna, waking up from his sleep, right? Oh my God, I didn't realize that there's a Ramayana, there's a war going on, right? So like that, this is what happened. And now the guys are basically decided that they're going to cancel this. So I mean, like, you got to understand that there is nothing, no hard and fast rule or nothing written on paper to any of these students that the government has guaranteed, okay, you know what, you come in as a student, here's a piece of paper that will tell you we are guaranteeing you 1 year.
मगर वो एडवर्टाइज तो किए ना ऐसा होगा बोल के, कम
I
से
mean,
कम
these
उनके
rules,
लिए
any rules are
कुछ।
subject to change. I mean, traffic rules today, if you jump a traffic light today, can be $20. Tomorrow, the same rule can be
आप
changed
क्या
to
करेंगे
$100.
अगर आप स्टूडेंट होते हैं? आप क्या करेंगे? आपको ऐसा
I would
लालच
go
देके
back to my
लेके
home
आया गया।
country. I have no choice. I cannot stay in the country as a without a status in this country,
मगर
right?
मगर मेरा ये मानना है कि आप एक बार वचन देते हैं तो आपको पक्का होना
There
चाहिए।
is there is no there is
यू नो
nothing called as that,
ये
because
दिस
you
इज
know what,
चीटिंग, ये
in
बच्चों के साथ चीटिंग हुआ है।
no no
कम
no,
से
I mean,
कम
like, you got to
कम से
understand
कम
that
जिसको प्रॉमिस किया है उनका तो करो।
there was no promise. This is what you're misunderstanding here, and that's why I'm saying that there is no. These guys feel that they're entitled because there's no promise. The government did not give anything in writing that this is going to happen. They were basically saying it is. And also there were, the small print also has to be read by these students, right? The small print basically will say that these rules can change anytime. They're subject to change, and
ठीक है,
anytime we change,
अब क्या हुआ?
unfortunately, you
अब
got to adapt to the
प्रोटेस्ट
new
हो रहे
rules.
हैं, इनका इनका क्या हो गया? ये
This
क्या
this
बोला जाता है कि
and to be
टिम
honest,
हार्टन में स्लो हो गया सर्विस, ये पीईआई में बहुत सारा सर्विस अफेक्ट हुआ, ऐसा कैसा हो सकता है?
no, see, the thing is, what these students are saying, like, this is basically what some of the PEI residents are saying. Okay, the residents are saying that, you know what, um, uh, if a PEI, PEI born brought up Canadian, all right, wants to find an apartment, a job, a used car, these there are no jobs, because the jobs are, most of the part-time jobs at Tim Hortons or McDonald's or any of these have been taken over by these non-residents, by the students.
मैं ये
Okay.
बोलता हूँ विनय जी कि आप करेक्ट करो मुझे अगर मैं गलत बोलता हूं तो। ओके, ये स्टूडेंट्स तो कम से कम पढ़ लिखने के तो सकते हैं, ये लोग बुद्धिमान हैं, पढ़ सकते हैं, कॉलेज कंप्लीट कर चुके हैं। ये रेफ्यूजी लेके आते हैं, वो कुछ काम का नहीं है। बहुत सारा समय उनका कोई टेस्टिंग नहीं होता है। मेरा बोलने का
The,
मतलब ये है कि टेस्टिंग नहीं होता है उनसे, तो ये अच्छा है ना इसके लिए।
no, the unfortunate part is most of these people who are coming in, they are going into many of these private colleges. Okay, the private colleges, the standard of education is lower than a third world country. I'm not even going to compare to India, because in India there are colleges, universities are really good, most of them. There are some substandard universities and colleges in India, and these are even below those standards. I'm going to tell you that. And the thing is,
लेट्स गो टू द सेकंड टॉपिक इसी में।
yeah,
ओके, फिर इस दोनों को आप इकट्ठा करें, राइट? तो ये है विनय जी, इसके बारे में जरा बोलिएगा कि ये जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं, ओके, ये प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं कि हमारा ग्रेड जो है Okay, students from Punjab stage protest. Okay, स्टूडेंट्स फ्रॉम पंजाब स्टेज प्रोटेस्ट, हमारा एक सब्जेक्ट में फेल हो गए हैं, बहुत सारे सिख बच्चे जो हैं वो फेल हो गए, इसलिए हम 4 गुना का उनका पैसा देते हैं, फिर भी हमें फेल किया जाता है, ये बोल के ये यूनिवर्सिटी के खिलाफ आंदोलन कर रहे हैं। इसके बारे में बोलिएगा कि इधर क्या हो रहा है।
So Algoma University conducted an exam, and this was in level, 300 level computer science course or something like that. That's what they call it. And a lot of the students who took these exams, they failed. Okay, because end of the day, this is what I know when I do go to for motivational speaking and whatever, right, which I do. And when I go and talk to these high school students in Ontario, what I tell them is the discipline, the education, the discipline in your way of studying and your course curriculum and all that, it is totally different in high school compared to the universities. Okay, in high school, a lot of students get spoon fed. Okay, and many of the teachers that I talk to and the board people that I talk to, they kind of say it very confidentially that no teacher is allowed to fail a student in high school. Okay,
Right.
everybody gets a pass. So this is why they feel that when they go into university, they're entitled. They're like, oh,
मतलब ये बच्चे तो पंजाब से आते हैं,
that's why I'm coming
ये
there.
तो
Hang on.
ये तो इंटरनेशनल स्टूडेंट्स का प्रोटेस्ट
Right.
है।
So basically, I tell these students, hey guys, when you go into university, there's no spoon feeding. You have to struggle, you have to work hard, and you have to pass. And they have kind of understood the way that game works. Okay. However, international students, when they come in, right, they've been promised a lot of things. And Algoma University in Brampton, it's a subsidiary or a branch of the university up north. Okay, and I think Algoma is in Sault Ste. Marie or Sudbury or somewhere up north. Okay, I don't remember exactly. So this is only a branch of that university, in up, somewhere up northern Ontario. The one
ये
in
ब्रैम्पटन में ही है।
Yeah. So now these students who come in, they have been kind of given that impression that it's very easy to do a university course here compared to India, because in India it's a lot of competition, right? It's not easy to get through a university course. So here it's a field, they assume that it's like that, and they talk to some of the high school students and all that. The high school students, whoever their friends are, they say, oh, nobody can fail you in this country. So that's the impression they come with. So
मतलब
now,
यूनिवर्सिटी में फेल नहीं कर पाएंगे क्या कनाडा में?
then university, it's totally different rules. That's what I'm telling you. In high school, you are not allowed to fail a student, but in university, you're on your own. In university, the rules are different. You have to study, you have to pass, and you have to make sure that you get those grades that you need to move on, right? But if you don't study and if you assume that, I'm going to pass because I'm entitled, and I don't have to study, and this is what the impression is, right? Like most students who are coming here as international students, they come with only one motive, ek maksad. That motive is only to get PR status in Canada. They want to eventually become citizens of Canada. Okay, they have no interest in
I agree
studying.
with you.
They have no
I
interest
agree
in
with you.
studying. They
I
have
agree
no
with you.
interest in,
But
yeah.
बट इनका कंप्लेंट भी सुन लीजिए, ये क्या बोल रहे हैं। ओके, द प्रोटेस्ट सेंटर्स अराउंड द मास फेलियर ऑफ 130 स्टूडेंट्स इन अ स्पेसिफिक सब्जेक्ट ऑफ देयर आईटी ग्रेजुएशन कोर्स। द स्टूडेंट्स आर्ग्यू, ये बोल रहे हैं कि हम सारा 9 सब्जेक्ट में पास हो गए, सिर्फ यही सब्जेक्ट में हम सब फेल हो गए। इसका मतलब क्या है?
And the reason is because they have not put in their hard work. They did not study because they assume that they, and I don't know whether you have any evidence that they passed in the other 9 courses. Do you have it?
Yeah, that's what the report says.
I don't care about the reports. I want to know the facts, hard facts. Have you talked to anybody?
Means,
I don't think so,
see,
right? I mean, like,
mhm.
that's what I'm saying. We don't know for a fact that these students have actually passed the other 9 courses. They can claim that they've passed, but the thing is, the majority of the students have failed in one particular course, which is actually one of the toughest course there's. I mean, like, I've talked
Yeah,
to,
it's a science technology course for
right?
sure.
It's a computer science course, right?
Uh-huh.
And these guys have assumed that they can actually they should they'll pass this course no matter what, and whatever, that they did not put in their hard work and they did not study, and now they're basically thinking that they can do what they do back home, just protest and hunger strike and this and that, and eventually everything will fall into place, and the university, the schools, the government will say, oh, okay, you know what, it's okay, all right, sorry, everybody will pass now. That's not the way things work. And this is unfortunate that it's happening, and these guys should actually just say, you know what, guys, we will take this course again, we will study again, we will pass this subject, but they are
मतलब
getting
ये
nervous.
मैं ये पूछूंगा आपसे, क्या यूनिवर्सिटी में ऐसा कुछ सिस्टम नहीं है जैसा भारत में होता है, आप री एवेल्युएशन करने का अप्लाई करें?
No, you don't have any of that. You have to take the course again.
ओके, अगर ये बोलते हैं कि ये एक जो लेक्चरर था या प्रोफेसर था वो बहुत रेसिस्ट हो सकता है, इसके वजह से हमें टारगेट किया गया बोल के।
There is no. I don't understand, because most of the professors in Algoma universities are immigrants, are from Indian origin. So I don't understand. Most of them are Punjabis. So,
अपने
so
लोग
where is
बहुत
the
रेसिस्ट
racism?
होते हैं
You know
हमारे
whether
ऊपर,
there is a
वो
racism
गोरों को
between.
छोड़ देते हैं, इनको बेचारों को
No,
पकड़
I
लेते हैं
don't know. Maybe there is racism between Chandigarh and Patiala and some other other town in or city in
या
Punjab. Or you come from Patiala, so you get low grades. You come from Chandigarh, you get different grades, and blah blah blah, right? So I mean, I don't believe this, because this
विनय
is
जी,
this is
विनय जी,
ridiculous.
मैं लास्ट क्वेश्चन टू यू ऑन एनालाइजिंग दिस बोथ, ये जो दोनों का आपने एनालाइज किया है बहुत बढ़िया, ताकि सब हम समझ सकते हैं। तो क्या है, आप ये दो प्रोटेस्ट दो जगह में हो रहा है, ये क्या अपना अपना बल दिखाने का एक एक शक्ति प्रदर्शन है, गुंडाइज्म है, या राइट टू प्रोटेस्ट है, ये कैसा देख रहे हैं आप?
See, the thing is, end of the day, right? The students, the international students who are coming in, they are they become part of the Gurudwara culture and whatever, and temples and some other stuff. Most of these are Punjabis, so I won't even bring up temples. It's mostly Gurudwaras, right? So, and they also know that Jagmeet Singh, who is the leader of NDP, is supporting the Trudeau government, and they feel that it's one of their own brothers, and he can support us and he can do whatever. And Jagmeet Singh has openly said that, you know what, I'll do whatever it takes to support these students, these international students coming in from that community, and I'll do whatever it takes. So that they feel they're apparently emboldened, okay, to do whatever they want, and it's become political actually right now. And it's unfortunate to see, one of the guys was saying that these students are driving around, there are about 8,000 Toyota Corollas apparently in the P.E.I region, and they have an Ontario plate and an assault rifle decal on it. Big AK-47 on that side of the the cars, and these guys in the PEI are basically simple farmers, okay, and they are seeing an influx of these students with turbans and all that coming in, and they feel that they're getting intimidated. And yes, the inclusivity is important. Yes, everybody, we are also immigrants, and it's important to understand and recognize that. But at the same time, the way these guys are coming and taking over jobs of the local people, and the way they're taking over apartments, the local students who have finished high school and are going into university or college, they are unable to find accommodation, because most of the international students have already done it, because all these guys have a network. So if there's a bunch of people, about 100 students coming in from Punjab, and they come to know about it, the local students, the local international students who are already here, they make sure that they book all the apartments for those people who are coming in. So what happens to the local students, the actual Canadian local P.E.I. born and brought up students? Every year you have so many students passing out of secondary school, and these guys are unable to
गवर्नमेंट का
find
फॉल्ट भी है, वो भी ये सब देखना चाहिए.
yes.
इनको तो पैसा ही मुद्दा है, वोटिंग मुद्दा है, ये लेके आ
Exactly.
जाते.
I mean, these are things that the government never thought about, and this is unfortunate that this is happening. And the thing is, the government has to put their foot down and say that's enough is enough. This was an experiment. This we
Don't
tried
talk
it.
about it.
It
Don't
did
talk
not
about for that. आपके लिए बैकबोन का जरूरत ही है, उसके बाद उधर नहीं जाएंगे.
Exactly. I mean, it all. I mean, but the end of the day, right? You know, you got to understand that end of the day, these guys are international students. They have no voting rights here.
मगर
who
एक
cares?
साल में अगर पीआर मिलता है तो फिर तो वोटिंग राइट मिल जाती है.
But there's no guarantee they may vote for NDP as opposed to liberal or conservative or whatever.
Anyway, you know, see, I want to thank you very much, Vinay ji. I want to ask the viewers, friends, आप क्या सोच रहे हैं? ये रेसिज्म है या इनका जो प्रोटेस्ट हो रहा है ये सही है? आपका राय क्या है? क्या आप विनय जी से सहमत हैं कि जिनका प्रोटेस्ट करना गलत है, ये लॉ एंड ऑर्डर को ओबे करना चाहिए, इनसे लोकल के ऊपर दबाव हो रहा है, इसके बारे में आप क्या सोच रहे हैं? जरूर हमें कमेंट करके बताएं. We will love to learn from you, know your opinion. Okay, we will see you in the next video. Next video is exactly about law and order again with the Vinay ji, and you must watch that video. अगर आपको कनाडा के बारे में देखना है तो उसको देखें, और विनय जी का सारा वीडियोस अवेलेबल है विनय जी टॉक्स प्लेलिस्ट में, आप जाके देख सकते हैं कनाडा के बारे में जानने के लिए. विनय जी, थैंक यू वेरी मच, अप्रिशिएट इट. जय श्री राम.
Yes, sure.